Hi, I'm Mary Meyer.
And I'm Curtis Reed, and welcome to another installment of Music City Corner.
On today's show, we have Clint Alphin, who is a singer-songwriter who sings Americana and bluegrass kind of music.
We also have writer and director Spenser Fritz, who is currently producing his very first feature-length film, Cecil.
Looking forward to that. All this and more coming up next on The Corner.
To be cool, you gotta be who everyone wants you to be, especially if you want to impress people like Chelsea Walter. As if she's totally out of your league. Hi, what's your name?
Cecil Stevens.
I told him, do not say your name in public. Like, if you have a lisp and your name is Cecil Stevens.
Hear that, guys? It's Cecil Stevens.
What a weirdo. Weasel Waisins.
Tom's stupid face.
That doesn't work, Joe. You idiot.
Whoa.
Today, gentlemen, remember, we make the cuts, but don't be deterred because even the great Michael Jordan, that's right, MJ himself, was once cut.
So after giving this some thought, I figured out what Cecil needs to be cool. He needs to change his name.
What? What's wrong with Cecil?
On the line! You!
Joe.
Cut! You!
Bradley Carson.
Cut! And you.
I'm Michael Jordan. Oh, hey Cecil. It's MJ.
All right, boys, this is it. We've got to show them exactly who we are. One more thing, very important. Remember it, we got to dunk on these fools. Get in here!
If she really liked you, you wouldn't have to hide the lisp. You aren't really Michael Jordan, you know? Oh my god, no, I don't like MJ. I like Cecil. Oh, snap.
And that was just a trailer from the up-and-coming feature film Cecil by writer and director Spenser Fritz, who we have in the studio today. Welcome, Spenser.
Hello, hello. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
We are glad you're here. That looks like it's going to be such a fun film, if it's anything like that trailer.
Yeah, it's totally different. No, I'm just kidding.
It's totally different.
Scratch what you
saw. The movie's
saw.
going to be horrible.
Right, no.
Just the trailer was good.
No.
No, that's great. It's just great actors, great child actors for this, and the shots and the lighting, the sound, everything was really well edited and stuff. I mean, it's like you're a professional.
Yeah,
or something.
we try.
Jeez, who knew,
We
right?
try. Yeah, we lucked out in terms of the actors were phenomenal. Sark and Merrick and all the other kids were. We were a little spoiled on that front in terms of the actors.
Oh, they're
and
wonderful. Really
and then the crew and cast. I mean, it was just out of the water.
And was it a challenge to work with child actors? I mean, I've heard horror stories, but these kids look like they were
I think that was
right
probably
on the
just
ball.
you, more or less.
Probably just
Probably
me,
back when you were a
right?
child and we were
When
an
I did
actor.
my one film at the age of 5, yeah.
It was. You know, it's always a challenge working with any actor, but these guys, you know, sometimes you have to jump hurdles for kids, but not these kids. They were great. I mean, they really, you know, they say casting is 90% of the directing, and and the same goes for this. Like, they were great. I mean, we were spoiled. You know, they knew all their lines. They came prepared. They listened to direction. Nobody threw fits. So
Good.
it's great.
And you just finished up a Kickstarter campaign. So now you're off to
Off to filming.
film?
Yeah,
Produce?
Right.
yeah, off to filming. We filming and then finishing writing before the filming. We recently had a big rewrite, making the script how it is currently with the more of a romance theme.
Oh, that's
So we're gonna be pumping out.
Aw.
Yeah,
You're both putting together. Oh, that's awesome.
yeah. So we're gonna pump out some more drafts and then get it in the can because we got some more gigs in June. So we got to get it all done before then.
Yeah, gigs are always good.
Yeah.
When you're your own filmmaker.
Yeah,
So good.
truly.
So how long, I mean, I'm always interested to know the process. I know every movie is different, but how long would it take to film a project like Cecil?
It just depends. Something like Cecil, we're shooting, you know, a wish amount would be about 20 days of actual shooting, but it looks like we're probably going to end up with about, you know, anywhere from 14 to 18 days of shooting. So
Long days.
Yeah.
long days,
Most
but
likely.
we're, you know, our crew is very, very efficient, or at least the group of people that we found to do this trailer. They all work together well, and we understand the challenges of working with kids, because you can't treat them like you do, you know, some adult actors and just have them there for 14 hours or 12
Right.
hours and
Right.
stuff. You have to respect their time more and
Be tighter with your schedule.
yeah. So
Absolutely.
so I would say long days, but it's not necessarily long days.
Right.
But it is
For
a
the
lot of
kids.
work. Yeah.
Well, you know, if you need any
Absolutely.
crazy extras, you know, I've been told I could look 10. So
Yeah. I mean.
with a lot of
Absolutely.
makeup.
Yeah,
With
you
a
could
lot
play
of
one of the
makeup.
bullies.
Yeah.
Maybe we could just
Yeah.
take your picture and just put it in every scene.
Paste it on a locker.
Yeah, it'll be like one of
somewhere.
those fine. Where is
Where's
that book?
Waldo?
Where's Waldo? It's going to be Curtis's picture. You'll do that for us,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I mean,
Absolutely.
it's worth it. I mean.
Awesome.
But this is your baby. Like, this is like you worked on another feature film, A Matter of Time, which is hasn't been out released yet. But this one you wrote, and you're directing it. So, and it has a personal meaning to you. So
Yeah. So it's based loosely on my childhood. As a kid, I had a speech impediment and I couldn't say my R's. Late into the years, probably 7th, 8th grade. So with a name
Yeah, that's late.
like Spenser Fritz, it's kind of tough to pronounce your own name there. So
Right.
it was a little bit traumatizing, but it kind of made me who I am today. And you know, now looking back on it, I can see the comedy in it. And
Sure.
you know, in school they always said, write what you know. Write something that you can tell people you're the best person to write this because you know I lived it or I know this world.
Yeah.
So this movie has a nice autobiographical touch to it, aside from the regular story.
Yeah.
So with that being said, what makes Cecil a cut above the rest in terms of the indie family comedy genre?
Well, yeah, not only the autobiographical, but it's that helps it in terms of, you know, it's a kids movie first and foremost. You know,
Right.
a lot of fun kids stuff going on. Kids will just love it, and but then you get that next generation of '90s kids that'll love it because it's based
Sure.
in the '90s,
Right.
you know, and
Yeah.
all these references and jokes, and you know, like Joey Lawrence saying "whoa," and you know the No Scrubs reference and things
Right.
like that. That those will like, and then you know, and then past that, you know, their parents will all appreciate it because they had the kids that were in the '90s, and then so it's just something that everyone can enjoy, as opposed, you know, it's not just one
Yeah.
genre or the other. It's really like
The whole family can just sit down,
Absolutely.
watch it together,
Which
not
is
be
nice.
afraid of what grandma's gonna say.
Well, and I know people
not have
ask,
to cover little Timmy's ears.
right? I know people
Yeah.
ask me a lot, "Have you seen this movie?" I'm like, you know, if I can watch it with my 13-year-old, I've seen it. Otherwise, I haven't. So I mean,
Right.
I do think there is a market for the family-friendly film, and this one, I think, with it coming from your background, I could even see from the trailer, it just seems to have a heart to it because you're
Right.
basically kind of like we're this kid. So that's really
Right.
neat.
Right.
yeah.
And not only is it a family-friendly movie, it's also a family affair
Oh,
because one of the
it
producers
is.
on the film, it just happens to be your wife.
My wife Amanda Dillingham is the producer of the film and also co-writer. She's been the confidant in that corner. So we've been working on this thing for a long time, and we're fortunate
great.
to be able to work in the same industry, you know, without without killing each other. But
That's a plus, yes.
Yeah.
Plus. And you guys met at Watkins College of Art and Design and got your degrees there. So now you are putting them to use.
Yeah.
So see, Mom and Dad, there you go, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Filmmaking school, making some money of it.
Oh yeah. I tell kids all the time that it's a degree is what you make of it. So I still talk to my teachers there, and they're helping me with the script now. So I really
really
valued my Watkins education.
Excellent.
And besides this movie, you also work for the Tennessee Titans. We need to mention that.
Yes, I do.
Kind of a big thing that we need to
Yeah.
mention.
So tell us what you do with them.
I shoot and edit the TV show Titans All Access, hosted by Mike Keith and Amy Wells. So it comes on before the games and then Friday and Saturdays as well.
So how much of your time does that take?
Once
like a full time?
Yeah, once the season starts, it's every week. So I mean, it's legitimate television. We're pumping out a 23-minute episode every single week.
So are you the guy down there on the field with the camera?
I'm
getting
one
the
of them.
action? You're
Yeah,
down
luckily
there
I
doing it?
am one of them because I absolutely love the Titans. Some of my friends might have came upon this job and it just been a job, but for me it's like blows me out of the water. I am
Two
the biggest
passions
Titans
melded
fan.
together.
Yeah, like I get sad the whole week they lose. So I mean the fact that So to answer your question, I am on the field and I absolutely love it.
Awesome.
Once Tony Romo hit me with a football on accident.
Oh, gosh.
That was awesome.
That sounds great. We got some great stories. So thank you, Spencer, for being on the show, and good
Thank
luck
you.
with the Tennessee Titans All Access, and with, of course,
Absolutely.
Cecil,
Right.
and in your producing and directing and filming and editing.
Right. If you didn't get to check out the trailer of Cecil at the beginning of the show, make sure you log into our website, www.musiccitycorner.com, and we'll have the trailer there for you. Thank you very much, Spencer.
All right,
Thanks,
thank
Spencer.
you guys.
Well, I've never been a quitter, but I think I better quit on you. Think about the trouble and the pain you can put me through, and nothing gets you nothing anymore. Well, I think you are lying, and I think you've been cheating me too. Think I shouldn't love you, but I really can't help thinking that I do. Well, I'm old enough to know better, but I'm thinking it through. Take myself back down the road that I've been given. Gonna see that sun come up as I walk on. Show my face back in the only place worth living. And gonna take that country train and go back home. Well, I've done a lot of praying and I've done a lot of hurting inside. Been a little foolish and I've done a lot of swallowing pride. Been a little too much in love to be denied. Say my prayers, take a look at my reflection. See a man whose eager eyes give him away. Turn my feet and face the opposite direction. I'm gonna take that country train and go away. Well, they told me that a little bit of learning wouldn't do me any harm. Told me that a little bit of living wouldn't kill me in the long run. I've lived enough to learn to bite my tongue. Take myself back down the only road I'm given. Gonna see that sun come up as I walk on. Show my face back in the only place worth living. I'm gonna take that country train and go back home. Yeah, gonna take that country train and go back home. Yeah, gonna take that country train and go back home. Woo-hoo.
And thank you, Clint Alphin, for that wonderful performance of Country Train, and which is something that he wrote himself. And he is now here in the studio to share with us more about his musical background, which is pretty diverse. Yes,
Yeah.
welcome, Clint.
Well, thank you. I'm really happy to be here.
I'm glad you could come in. So you have a new album coming out.
That's
here
correct.
very soon.
Yeah.
And your music is kind of a mixture, you said, of Americana, you call it, but what kind of mix is that?
Yeah, I grew up starting, the first person I wanted to learn to play on guitar, I wanted to play like James Taylor and write some of his songs. He's a big hero of mine, so that's what first drew me.
Good influence.
Yeah, that's what first drew me to writing songs. And then since then, I've listened to a bunch of different styles of music. I went to Appalachian State for a little bit and picked up some bluegrass and folk influences. And so I would say that it's mainly a singer-songwriter based music for me, but I, like to sponge up any other influences that I can. So I kind of like to use the term Americana because those are a lot of the artists that I like. Rodney Crowell, Emmylou Harris, Gillian Welch, and David Rawlings. Those people all are kind of a gold standard to me.
Yeah.
Awesome. And you happen to play quite a few instruments, both in live performances as well as on your records.
Yeah, that's true. Along with writing most of his music, he plays most of his own instruments. So that's impressive.
That's true. I mainly sing and play guitar, and then I like to, the past few shows that I've done, I like to kind of bring in the piano and the keyboard a little bit because I've been learning and learning to write a little bit more on the piano. And I like to say I add a lot of other stuff. The mandolin, banjo, dobro, whatever I can get my hands on and make a sound out of.
Yeah,
nice.
Good for that folk bluegrass.
Yeah,
absolutely. Kind of sound. That's great. Well, and you even studied music in college because you have several degrees.
Yeah, I did. I studied vocal performance. Was mainly my college music focus. I got a business degree with a vocal performance minor from the University of North Carolina, and then I kind of completed that circle with a second bachelor's degree from Appalachian State University in Boone, North Carolina, which is, it was basically a music degree with a business minor. So
awesome. So you hear that? He's smart and talented.
Right. Well, and it makes sense that he's also a member of MENSA with all those degrees.
I
we really shouldn't even be here with him, Curtis. I
know.
Okay, we'll stay. That's fine.
Yeah, that's been a very interesting experience. I qualified for that based on my scores to get in a grad school for Lipscomb University, where I got my an education degree. So
that's great.
They're a varied walk of people, all smart, of course, but
right.
That's really neat.
Yeah.
And so you are originally, though, from North Carolina.
I am.
And I know, like, your first album was Effigy, which had a real bluegrass feel to it.
Yeah.
So is that some influence that came into that?
Yeah, a lot of that influence is, like I said, James Taylor and a lot of the bluegrass music that came from North Carolina, like Doc Watson, Earl Scruggs. We've got as much bluegrass heritage, I like to say, as Kentucky or Tennessee. Sometimes we don't get as much credit for it sometimes, but there's a lot of great music that comes out of North Carolina.
Yeah.
And on your new album, which is entitled Postmodern Man, what would you say your inspiration or influence is behind that album? It's
more of a walk through life and kind of commenting on, the things that happen to you, and you try to make them both personal and universal. I guess that's the songwriter's challenge.
Right.
But it breaks away from some of the folk roots that I've had, in that there's some very piano-driven and produced songs, but there's still a lot of good acoustic, stripped-down songs that are pretty much me and a guitar, or me and a guitar and a harmonica. So.
And all of these albums are still available, like on Pandora and iTunes and stuff. You can just type in Clint Alphin, Alphin,
that's
Pandora, and a whole station will come up for this kind of music.
Yeah, exactly.
The genre,
and they're available on iTunes and through Amazon.com and my website, ClintAlphin.com. And so there's plenty of ways to find it.
Yeah.
And you also play locally. In fact, some of the well-known places are Bluebird Cafe.
Yes.
What was that?
Made possible by, or not possible, made possible by Nashville.
Right,
for sure.
right.
Yes.
Made popular.
Yeah.
And it's all. You've also performed at Antique Archaeology, which is
That's
actually
right.
owned by American Pickers, so
Yeah.
another well-known.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very fun place to play. There's a lot of tourist traffic that comes in and out of there. So
Right.
it's nice to see what goes over with the crowds there. And
Absolutely.
it's
Yeah.
nice.
So if you're local, what other places could we find you playing at?
I play at the Franklin Mercantile sometimes, Bugging Up Pig. I live in Spring Hill, close to Franklin, so
Franklin's
nice.
a great place
Yeah.
for music.
yeah, and still
Kimbrough's.
Kimbrough's. Yeah, I've played
okay.
at some writers' nights there, and every once in a while at the Bluebird Cafe, there's a pretty long list of people that want to play there, so
Right.
you have to kind of go in a rotation there. But that's
Absolutely.
a fun place to play.
So I'm someone who wants to come see you. So
Mm-hmm.
how do I find out about your upcoming shows? Where do I go?
The easiest place would be to find me on Facebook, and if you search Clint Alphin, you'll find my personal page and my music page.
Okay.
So if you like my music page, I keep that updated pretty much constantly, and I'll probably add you as a friend. I don't think my list
good.
is filled up yet.
I need a friend.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find you and like you on
Right.
Facebook.
Yeah.
So, other than playing live, you've also played for quite a few Americana music festivals,
Yes.
not just locally, but
Yeah.
in other states. Tell us about some of your memorable moments from that.
Yeah, that's true. I'm a member of the International Folk Alliance, and they have a folk music conference every year that I've played some showcases at and really enjoyed that. And then a couple of summers ago, I got kind of a big break. I got to play at the Telluride Bluegrass Festival in Telluride, Colorado, as part of their songwriters, their troubadour contest. So that was a really great festival to play at. And then last year, kind of an even bigger deal for me, I got to play at Merle Fest, which is a big bluegrass festival in Wilkesboro, North Carolina.
Okay.
And I got third place in the Chris Austin songwriting contest out there.
Excellent.
Which is, it's been a contest that's launched the careers of Gillian Welch and among some other people. So I was really fortunate to be counted among the finalists of that, and my family, my parents go to that every year as well. So I got to play in front of them, which was nice.
Congratulations. That feels really good. It's kind of like grassroots
Yeah.
bluegrass.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's great. They've got a lot of great performers that play at that festival.
a lot of
I
grass.
see what you did there. I
know
like
it's a lot
that.
of grass. Well, you have another performance coming up here that
Yes.
we want to hear about. So what is this song about?
This next song is the song Effigy, the title song off my very first album. And it's about being the person that you were called to be rather than the person that maybe a lot of other people try to make you into.
That sounds like a good theme. I
I
like
like
that.
it. I like it.
We can roll with that.
Absolutely. Well, stick around and listen to Clint Alphin right here on Music City Corner.
And also on Facebook, it's Clint-Alphin, and we're going to come visit you
Absolutely.
and hear you play live.
Yeah, thank you.
I hear the clock, it wakes me up at 6 a.m. for the morning race. Another day older than I used to be. See the making of another day as the sun comes through the grate. Smiles for miles on piles of cold concrete. Memories, they fade into the days behind mine. My dreams are strung up right before my eyes like an effigy. I used to see the world through infinite eyes and the gaze of childish dreams. Attempting to escape and live a fantasy. But time can quickly make you realize that you're never truly free. That you're a captive of impossibility. yourself, but someone shall like an effigy. Take a step outside your eyes and just look at where your mind resides. Is it where your heart wanted to be? Take a little chance tonight and just think of things you've never tried. Are they dreams you've sacrificed on strings of an effigy? Memories, they fade into the days behind mine. My dreams are strung up right before my eyes like an effigy.
We'd like to thank you all for watching today, and we'd also like to thank our special guest.
That's right, Spenser Fritz. And if you would like to keep up with the Cecil movie, you can like it on Facebook, and you'll get updates on the production and the release of that movie.
Absolutely. We'd also like to thank Clint Alphin. To follow Clint on all of social media and to find out where he's playing next, just go to his website, clintalphin.com, and that is ALPHIN.
Yes, and there's links to buy his music on that too. And there are links on the MusicCityCorner.com website to all of our social media.
So see you next time at the corner.
Thank you for watching this episode of Music City Corner, and you can click here to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Also be sure to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google+, and of course, MusicCityCorner.com.